I'll be honest, it's starting to not surprise me that much anymore how unoriginal the branding of shark movies are getting along the smaller budget sphere. I mean, some of your larger pictures actually take some variation to their titling. Let's say, for example, in fact, this afternoon, I just looked at the Black Demon, which looked like a pretty good summer movie. But I've got a whole litany of shark movies listed on my feed right now that I considered, I was in a shark mood for some weird reason. It's probably Jurassic Shark's fault. And I'm looking at all these names, and again, like I said, they all have this level of sameness and quality. They've entertained some of these smaller pictures as I have. Let's say, for some examples, six-headed shark attack, sand sharks, avalanche sharks, I've perused. Maybe not, most of them I've watched in their entirety, and some I've perused. But they all ring a bit of a similar bell. And now we have Killer Shark. It's like, again, these names aren't getting any more original with time. But maybe the Killer Shark movie could be fun. I mean, I think it fits our expectations, what we would normally believe a shark movie to be. It's a pretty accessible release on Tubi, and based on only 89 reviews, so it's not necessarily the largest batch in the world, but it's sitting at 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb. So maybe it's kind of like in that middle ground. It's not necessarily too low, but it's not too high. It's kind of like so-so as a movie. Maybe it could be entertaining. I don't know. I'm looking at it a bit late, as I understand. I apologize for that. I'm in a catch-up mode of most of my content. I've been meaning to peruse around some of these shark movies for a long time. Because, as I've been saying, in the thriller landscape, there's dominant trends that are evolving, or maybe they've been present for a while. Clowns, nuns, zombies, to name a few. Maybe evolving ones as well, or maybe resurrected ones, no pun intended. Vampires, snakes is starting to become a thing, dinosaurs. But this shark movie trend, it's been going on for many years, even before I knew about it, more so than I do now. If you want to know about Killer Shark at a greater depth, this is the IMDb synopsis. A group of friends on vacation on a private yacht get stranded out in the middle of the sea. What's worse, the gigantic mutated shark attacks them. Now they must fight to survive both the shark and other challenges waiting for them. So that's my first time reading the synopsis as well. It's like, there we go, there's even more unoriginality. Like I said, these films are all starting to run together with one another. So you wouldn't be faulted if you mixed up Killer Shark for, what's another example? Toxic Shark. They're all starting to ring a bell. Like, we all know what a shark movie is going to entail, right? You've got the disaster creature, sort of the horror manifestation for usually a group of unsuspecting victims. And what do we have? A group of friends on vacation. Like, we've seen this before in other places. And you have the giant shark. In this case, it's mutated. So that's a bit, it's actually, no. Come to think of it, I've seen, for example, some argument can be made for, like, six-headed shark attack. It's more like a mutant shark, or cocaine shark. There's too many of these shark movies. It's just getting really funny. Anywho, Killer Shark. Let's see how original this one is, if it is at all. No, like I said, the name is very much on, it's in essence true to a shark movie. This is also coming out, by the way, from ITN Movies. I missed that. They're a bit varied in execution, admittedly. In my opinion, I've consulted a pretty wide body of their work. Or ITN Movies, ITN Distribution, to specify maybe name accuracy from what people might be familiarized by, because they go by both, or at least they have in the past. Some of their projects actually look pretty good. It's typically smaller indie fare for the most part. Lower budget releases. The international stuff tends to have a bit of a curiosity with me because it actually looks pretty well realized. Most of their domestic fare, not all of it, but most of them tend to show their cheapness, in my opinion. And while I try and be respectful to indie films, because I understand they operate on limited budgets, again, I try to consult a wide variety of films these days, sometimes you just can't necessarily ignore the poor realization, and you have to admit it. You can't necessarily ignore that fact. And with ITN, it's been something in the case that has been present. Let's take a look at Killer Shark and see if it's invigorating at all as a release, and if it's sort of at that mid-tier that IMDb currently places it at. That's just asking for trouble. Yep, there's our shark, okay. Well, okay. I see the budget. I was gonna say, though, it's better realized than Jurassic Shark by comparison. Well, okay. it's funny, again, how many of these films, like I said, are starting to run together. Capsized Boat or Boat Overturned. What movie was it that did that? There was another one that followed along that path, and I can't think of the name of it at the moment. But I know I saw a shark movie follow that path, too. Maybe it was like, I don't know, maybe it was Two-Headed. Not sure. I could be wrong. But all the connection points, that's definitely a CGI fin. See, some shots aren't bad, but some are. Okay, when the shark is filmed at a distance, like when he's or she is about to go attack, it's not bad. Whenever the shark's in close-up, it's pretty laughable, admittedly. I'm sure the reviews are probably... If they're sitting at 6.2 out of 10, I'd imagine there's some friendliness, perhaps, in the standpoint. Well, IMDb doesn't list that many. There's only one review written up. What's this one currently? This film may have benefited from airing a truly awful shark attack movie. So not necessarily that much word of mouth on it right now. Maybe in search results, perhaps. Maybe on YouTube comments. I haven't looked. But at least on IMDb, there's not much discourse occurring with this movie. It could be fun. You know, again, like I said, Jurassic Shark was entertaining for as many times as I've humored that movie. And if you haven't seen it, you are missing out. Plus, you should watch it. Now it's a franchise with the third entry that just came out recently. Or maybe it's not out yet and they just recently advertised it and I'm forgetting the release date. This type of campy, low-budget shark movie, they're entertaining, they're fun, even just to laugh at them. And maybe, again, like some of these films aren't intentionally taking themselves too seriously. This is, like I said, a growing trend. And the more they go on, the crazier they get. I mean, there's a lot of fresh ideas, to be fair, in terms of where they place the sharks, like sand sharks or Shark-and-Saw Women's Prison Massacre. I mean, there are differences. But maybe some, again, follow down the line of what we're repeating conventional elements among other shark releases, even in the smaller budget space, and not necessarily just among, bigger commercial releases. This kind of appear like your mainstream shark attack movie, with some good realization and some obvious CGI that resembles the low-budget feel. So it could be just an entertaining film on its face, might be a great, how long is the movie? Does IMDb specify the length of it? Under 90-minute movie. You can have a fun time, and again, like I said, it's on Tubi, it's pretty accessible. I might watch it myself. I've seen plenty of shark movies that it might be a lot of fun. What are your thoughts? Even if, again, like I was saying, the points that it's repeating, I for sure cannot remember the film right now. But the Capsized Boat, I'm not sure. At this point, again, like I said, there's so many different types of shark movies, I couldn't tell you which one it was. I'm trying to remember, but I know I saw one where it's like, I've seen the boat upturned, and we've hit on that note before. What are your guys' thoughts of Killer Shark? I mean, again, like I said, on point name. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below if you wish to disclose your perspective. I might entertain it. Again, it could be campy fun. We'll see. Yeah, but again, one of these lower budget shark movies, they're entertaining for the most part, even if maybe intentionally they're not meant to be taken seriously. I have a feeling Killer Shark is sort of going for that vibe. I don't know. Could be another Jurassic Shark. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.